Today I'm going to discuss the present situation of college students' intercultural communicative competence in China. My name is Hong Jishen and my ID number is 28052986. So in the 21st century, English as a global and international language or a lingua franca is widely used in communication between people and countries, just like MacArthur said in 2002. He pointed out the importance of English by stating that English is massively the principal foreign language taught and sought after in the People's Republic of China, where it has had high status as a global medium of education, travel, entertainment, e-communication, and business. In 2006, there is a data showed the number of English learners in China exceeds 250 million. However, the English language teaching, which is ELT in China, has not affected the traditional teaching model, whereby students learn English just to pass the examinations, and teachers lecture mainly to help students achieve that goal. The result is that students do not have enough English to communicate effectively with others. So in China, this kind of situation, we call it dumb English or deaf English. So obviously, students' overall skills cannot be fully developed or enhanced, especially for those at the college and the university level. So in order to improve the situation based on the needs analysis, the Chinese Ministry of Education published the college English curriculum requirements, in which documents it replies the objective of college English is to develop students' ability to use English in an all-round way, especially in listening and speaking, so that in their future work and social interactions, they will be able to exchange information effectively through both spoken and written channels. And at the same time, they will be able to enhance their ability to study independently and improve their cultural quality so as to meet the needs of China's social development and the international exchanges. So I want to discuss the concept of communicative competence and its development in the world. So one of the earliest concepts of communicative competence was introduced by Hymes in 1972. He believed that the ability to communicate properly should be cultivated in language teaching, and the students should learn how to use a language in their daily communication, so in order to demonstrate their mastery of this language. And his theory of this communicative competence has been widely acknowledged and accepted by the English educators and scholars from then. And as the concept of communicative competence is being further developed, different language skills such as linguistic, social linguistic, discourse, strategic, and pragmatic competences are receiving increasing focus. One of the main goals of both ELT and CET in China nowadays is to develop students' communicative competence, as more students will regard English as a communicating tool after graduation instead of just something they have to learn during the studying term time in college, just need to pass the examination and forget all of them after graduation. So what is the necessity and feasibility of developing students' communicative competence in university? So first of all, we need to change the CET criteria in listening and speaking skills. And that is what the government did. So by the publication and implementation of the college English curriculum requirements in 2007, both the listening and speaking skills have become key criteria by which to measure the success of CET in China. So today we can see that the ultimate purpose of CET in China is not just to have students pass exams by blindly using the cramming teaching method in large classrooms. And another thing is, more and more overseas students, they come back to China after graduation. So for those students, they are learning and adapting the most updating and most advanced teaching stereotype and the learning stereotype in the world top ranked universities such as the University of Southampton or some other universities all over the country. So after they graduate and come back to China, they just spread their conceptions of teaching and learning to those students still studying domestically. So that would be a very, very helpful resource for improving the students' conception of learning English. They will know, like, English, they will realize English is a language instead of a tool for passing the examinations. They could use English and they could benefit from using it. And the teaching stereotype is also changing in universities, colleges, even the secondary school, especially in the primary level. So the teachers, they put the students in more student-centered. Of course, at the lower level, students are not required to get a higher score or pass too many examinations, so they have enough time and enough energy to study this language, and the teachers will show more patience in teaching those students. So that is another possibility that students could develop their own skills for communicating. And we still have the challenges of developing students' communicative competence, which is the traditional limitation to developing students' communicative competence is inadequate interaction between teachers and students. So the teachers simply just spend much time lecturing, while students take notes and seldom participate in class. The relatively tedious test-based teaching method makes students reluctant to freely participate in the classroom discussions. Therefore, the communicative teaching approach is still on a journey from theory to practice in Chinese universities. A great number of students do not have enough opportunity to communicate with each other in English. Students' lack of initiative may also influence the effectiveness of teaching. And secondly, another obstacle to implementing CLT is the method of evaluating CET in China. Currently, the evaluation reforms pay more attention to developing students' integrated ability, which is a big improvement. And although some students pay more attention to developing students' communicative competence, the traditional assessing system is still ingrained, and the dichotomy between accuracy and fluency is still worth considering if the teaching method will be more widely implemented in China. And and also there's a lot of students who are not English majored. They don't show, or they will not understand the teaching system which have been given to the English major students. So that would be a big hinder for them to adapting the most updating system. That would be a question being left to think about. So as a conclusion, developing students' communicative competence is mandatory for ELT in Chinese colleges and universities, and it should be a priority when teaching and learning English today. So it will be appropriate to implement the communicative language teaching approach to help college students in China and improve their English skills in all kinds of ways. Okay, thank you very much.